scenario, and the loser is out.
Yeah, I mean, it has been quite light on those players that finished like third in the group. Like, so only one player got eliminated, but now it's all on the line. So these players playing a best of 5 against each other, the loser is out, whereas the winner, as you said, goes on to play another best of 5 series against a player to potentially either go on or go out. So yeah, these guys. The tournament doesn't get easier from this point at all, and it stays ridiculously hard. I mean, these players, first round of the loser bracket, we have Welmu against Serral, 2 potential top 16 WCS players. I mean, yeah, it's insane. In fact, they are. I think they both are WCS top 16 players.
Yep. 2 players that could very well end up being playing against each other very soon, as you said. As Cross spawns Deadwing in the southwest position, we have the Finnish Zerg in blue from Team My Insanity. He is Serral. Shout out to My Insanity guys. I imagine they're all tuning in. And, well...
Oh, and spawning in the top right,
oh
as
boy.
our red Protoss, we do have Welmu. And immediately on the minimap, I see 2 little probes moving out, Nathaniel.
This seems to be a trend on this map because...
It's Welmu, man. Every time.
Yeah, I was going to say, we also saw this was the map that Rain tried it on in his match yesterday against Firecake, but I don't want to spoilerino too much, but at least this is how the game opened on Deadwing. If you guys missed this morning's GSL semifinal, so I'll just be that guy that tells you that this is how it started. Now,
Serral is quite a predictable player, quite a safe player. Definitely resembles Snoot in a lot of ways. And now Welmu, he scouted this hatch. And with that, he knows it's pool first.
Yeah, so going for a cannon rush would be pretty risky. He's sending the other probe that was going around the map back home. And since this probe is chilling in the main base, yeah, there's not going to be any cannon rushing going on here. No shenanigans, as it were. So Welmu starts up his Nexus, and at the end of the day, this is just a build that's going to make Welmu's Warp Gate tech pretty damn late, but doesn't have to really affect his strategic choices.
So yeah, a little bit of an investment here for Welmu. So he put up the Forge, hoping to go up against the hatch first. Then he sent out 2 probes to go scouting, which every minute that they're off gas between them, it's 40 minerals each missing. So yeah, the investment here of Welmu's build means his Nexus was significantly later. That being said, his opponent didn't go for the greediest build, he went for a very safe build. So how far behind is Welmu at this point? Slightly. He'd have obviously loved to have cannon rushed on this map, given that he went out with 2 probes, but Serral playing a very, very safe build, that did not happen.
Yeah, nothing really to worry about as far as Serral is concerned. And with the gas coming in, we could see some speed play. We saw speed play also be pretty effective on this map from Firecake yesterday against Rain, although the opening was different enough that I don't think it's that comparable since, well, I mean, it wasn't really a wall for Rain on this map.
Tilted Rain out of the tournament, man, he did.
Yeah. Yeah. After a series as brutal as that, I'm not surprised.
Well, the series actually was very interesting. Like those.
It was back and forth, but like the losses for Rain were all like, ah.
Well, the last game, especially on Catalina, where his army was just kind of out on the map, and it's like,
yeah,
oh,
well, he just kind of walked away from everything that would have kept him safe, and then got surrounded.
So what do we have here? We have a probe blocking, so no lings can potentially run past. That's not what Welmu wants. Upon this Zealot being finished, he will replace that hole, and there we go. So Welmu going for going for Warp Gate. This gas being spent on a Stalker here. Will he be getting +1 weapons pretty soon? In fact, does he have a Mothership core out? Not sure at this point.
No, not yet. Going straight for that Stalker. Of course, the Stalker can still be useful for trying to deny any potential Overlord scouts that come in, but that Mothership core timing, I always like to get it early for the energy. I feel like that has actually been a pretty big factor in a couple of the PVZs we've seen in Fragmite Masters.
Yeah, Welmu's not scared of getting his wall busted anytime soon, otherwise getting that gas, or rather spending that gas. Oh, Stargate and a Sentry. Yeah, so I guess like Welmu gets to play against Serral quite a bit, and if you do play ladder, you get to play against Serral quite a lot in general. Yeah. And Serral isn't a cheesy player at all. He's become very adept at this kind of like Roach Hydra style into Muta. Definitely likes Mutas in this matchup. So Welmu, delaying his Mothership core quite a lot and getting out a very early Stargate here.
Yeah, and I think that's a really important thing to keep in mind, especially since we look at some of the strategies that were busted up by Firecake were some of them a few bit on the cheesier side of things yesterday. Serral likely to avoid those, and even the Swarm Host play, maybe if we, if things get weird on that map, we see it. But otherwise, that that patch is coming April 5th, and Swarm hosts will never be the same, so don't want to get too reliant on Turtles-based strategies.
Ooh, I believe Serral did just see that Stargate, and if he did, that's good for him. He knows when to build spores, and a
Yeah, he
3.
starts up one.
Wow, okay, 4 gateways, or 3 gateways coming down, so it's going to be 4 gate follow-up for Welmu here. And yeah, did just see that Stargate.
Yeah, I mean, with +1 just now beginning, I still don't feel like this lends itself towards like a big push to follow this up, because there's no probes on the map either, but the Oracle wants to at least be annoying.
This looks very reminiscent of CJ Hero's Protoss play, where he harasses with an Oracle, gets a few gateways down, then goes for a third and +2 and all that.
Yeah, and then makes a ridiculous number of stalkers.
One thing to always note about Serral's play, by the way, is his creep spread. I mean, this is 8 minutes into the game, and look at this creep spread already moving out.
Yeah. Also important to note that +1 attack that he's getting with the number of lings he has will deal very well with any gateway pushes that he ends up getting into, or having to kill any pylons, etc. So I like to see this +1 melee when the Zergs get it, just because some of them are just so good with the lings. I think Firecake especially was quite strong with it, even though he didn't open with melee upgrades.
So Serral actually gets to see this third base coming down pretty much when it comes down, but gets to see, hey, I can't really attack this. And he could probably take on the Sentry army or the ground army alone, but with this Oracle assisting, those Zerglings will get turned to mush. So Serral immediately producing lots and lots of drones against it, so he just wants to outbreed his opponent right now.
Yeah, and with that lair finishing up, you mentioned this, Ben, the Roach Hydranus. Well, there's the Hydralisk coming in, Roach Speed on the way, so the Lings are going to be more of a tool to throw around the map and keep that map presence so that Welmu can't comfortably move anything out that could be aggressive against him. So at this point, Welmu seems to be more than comfortable to just sit back and take that Nexus, get those upgrades together, and potentially move forward for that +2 blink that we talked about, but not committing to anything yet.
A few things that Serral has to be kind of worried about, the possibility of anyhow, is that Welmu may not probe up this third base and just goes for a big move out, in which it can take Protosses or Zergs by surprise. That's what Hero tried to do against Life this morning, but Life kind of sniffed it out and forced Hero, or rather Hero kind of played far too aggressive and got chomped up if you guys haven't seen that match. But as we see, both guys just probing up, droning up, pretty darn good economy by both of them. Serral just sending in the odd link, just making sure he gets to keep tabs on his opponent's army and what he's really going for. Back at home producing a lot of Hydras, getting pretty decent upgrades, and yeah, so far so good by both these players.
Yep, a very passive build-up for Welmu, that, you know, the Oracle doing what it could to get the information. But +2 blink, this is where we generally see that Protoss player explode forward a bit. I will say the creep set for Serral is very nice in that we've seen quite a bit of delayed robo setups in general. Like most of the Protoss players that we've seen, like they get very late because they focus so much on this +2 blink setup. And that does mean that if he chooses to push forward onto creep at any point in this game before he gets those observers to clear it, well, even if he clears it, you know, if he pushes before it dissipates, then the Lings, especially with that +1, can really get work done.
Now, this Oracle keeps trying to scout what his opponent's doing, and so far, like, even I know what Serral likes to go for in this matchup, which is Roach Hydra into that Muta switch. But with that being said, I don't see any Mutas out in the field. I actually see a Hive on the way for our Zerg player here, and Welmu. He probably knows Serral way better than I do, and the fact that he had to study for this matchup, I think that's why he's staying on Robotech here, because he's anticipating the possible tech switch of his opponent. But as we see, that's not really the case at all for Serral here.
Those Lings give the wall a bit of a love tap, not able to get in just yet.
And with that +2 on the Stalkers now 3-shot Lings, and this Stalker count for Welmu is getting ridiculously high, but I feel that Serral's kind of played his own predictability here by going for this very good anti-Stalker mix. And hallucinated Colossi here for vision.
Yeah, I actually really like seeing the Protoss players use this just to, as you said, get vision of the opposing forces on the high ground without exposing that mothership core. A couple Zerglings do run across the map. And
focuses the low health Stalker there with the Lings.
Nice.
Gets a few pickoffs there. Vipers joining the fray. That's a lot of Stalkers, mate.
And using the Oracle to clear creep, I actually do really like this, but there's a lot of tumors to go through, and this army is starting to spread itself out. Serral looking to collapse on top of Welmu, moving in, Time Warps and Force Fields on the left side. Good amount of Hydras on the north end of things, but wow.
Solid force fields by Welmu here, just slicing the army in half and takes apart a lot of those Hydras, eventually trying to slip out, but an aggressive blink lands on top of them. And now a 31 Stalker count for Welmu, and his army's just increasing. Oof.
Yeah, this is a tricky position to be in. Those Hydralisks with very low health. If they get force fielded back, especially with these Guardian Shields, it's going to be hard for them to win straight up fights. The bits of trickles of Zerglings, I still do really like these because of that melee upgrades that they have. You know, Protoss players generally don't get armor in this matchup, so you end up being able to deal a crazy amount of damage when the Protoss generally thinks that they can take a couple of hits. Nice Blinding Cloud to push him back too.
One Blinding Cloud so far, still trying to get that health from that extractor there for more energy on those Vipers. The army supply still better for Serral, but as we all know, Zerg units are inferior to Protoss, but some nice Blinding Clouds do land. He gets to pick apart a lot of units with these Hydras.
Yeah, running into his own Blinding Cloud for a moment there, so he will step back. But this Hydralisk count is getting absolutely insane with the little bit of Ling support. He's actually doing quite well as far as the trades go. Welmu, though, still consistently reinforcing with that pylon that's not maybe as close as he'd like it to be, as these Vipers continuously have to push back to get more and more of that energy.
Oh, but there's no sentries left for Welmu here, so it's just pure Stalker against pure Hydra. And with the Lings constantly reinforcing and flooding in, combined with a few Roaches, they tank really well for these Hydras. But is Serral kind of overcommitting here? Possibly.
He's stepping a bit far forward. A lot of these Hydralisks not able to fight in that concave for Welmu, really giving him a good opportunity to trade against this force. And that aggressive blink, he loses a few Stalkers but kills an insane number of Hydralisks. His supply getting closer and closer.
Oh, nice Blinding Cloud again at the bottom of this ramp, and now this gives Serral a little bit of time, and we see 14 Hydralisks, 10 Zerglings on the way, +2 almost finishing here. Doesn't want to lose these Vipers, another Blinding Cloud. He's just buying time here.
Yeah, another Blinding Cloud. And that hatchery is actually getting quite low on health, so Welmu may be able to just tip this thing over eventually, as it's already in that the red health. And this is a tricky spot to be in, man. These Hydras, they're so strong, but that blink control from Welmu has been equally strong.
Yeah, Welmu's been doing really, really well here. Just using a couple of Zealots to deny the mining here while pressuring the third with his main army. This is really, really clean play by Welmu. Oh, yeah. Nice Blinding Cloud again.
You mentioned CJ Hero's heavy +2 blink style, and this is exactly the vibe I'm getting, man. He is just making pure Stalkers. He's going to kill him with pure Stalkers.
It looks like he is. He doesn't have vision of the high ground, which makes this a lot tougher to deal with. But that being said, he keeps taking a supply lead. Whoa, Infestors coming out on the field?
I mean, if he can get them out, I don't believe he has pathogen glands, so it's still tricky that he won't be able to fungal as soon as they finish, and that means he needs to buy himself a lot of time. But this hatchery is so low, like he can just blink forward. A few Stalkers even just focus this down after he takes one more fight or two.
And his fourth hatchery, I believe it's still under attack from these Zealots. In fact, well, it's not mining at all.
Yeah, he cleared out all the drones, so it's he no longer has that economy advantage against the Protoss player, and Welmu takes a supply lead this game. The Infestors are so close to popping, but they cannot fungal yet. He needs to wait a little while.
Oh man, do you believe he forgot about the pathogen gland upgrade here? Because that's a big, big error here.
I really feel like the focus for him was on the Hive, and that he just realized at the last minute, he's like, Infestors are what I need, but they're totally useless. If he throws Infested Terrans, he knows that he needs to save this third base or the game is over, and that's not going to happen.
Oh, I mean, they are tanking somewhat against the Stalker count, but it's a huge Stalker count. It's not diminishing anytime soon. Yes, he's picking apart Stalkers here and there, moving through his own Blinding Cloud here. It's just too much, and GG is called. Welmu takes the first map of the series.
Pretty good. Welmu, I think this is one of those cases of, hey, that army shouldn't beat that. So many Hydras, Vipers, but Vipers, while they're normally pretty strong against compositions that have Colossi, there's nothing to really, you're not really gonna like abduct Blink Stalkers. Like, yeah, you grabbed him and then he blinks away, or, you know, you're trading that energy. The Blinding Clouds, as much as I like them, they still make it very difficult to chase because then they blind your own units.
If there's anything I had to say went wrong there for Serral, it's the first engagement. He tried to get this flank at the top with the Hydra.
Yeah.
And then he got a good 10 Hydralisks just cut off there, and he tried to run away with the rest of his army. Like he had, and that
did not work.
Yeah, he had good creep spread, so he could get a surround. But if you go for a surround against a Protoss army like that, you really have to get the full wrap around, not just half a wrap. And then
you got to give him a big old bear hug, the Muslim.
Big old bear hug, but also the chasm, like the actual natural landmark there.
Yeah. He
used that, and as Serral squeezed through, he realized he overcommitted, and bam, that's when the force fields came and just cut off a large chunk of that army. And then Serral moved back and got a concave ready. But when you're only 20 supply ahead and your opponent's got +2 Stalkers...
Yeah, that push away from his base is actually, I think, really, really important.
Like, I think he needed some defensive, like, spine crawlers there just to help out a little
Something
bit.
to anchor him down a bit better, you know, or if he had even just gotten pathogen glands. Because he started, okay, and my argument for that will be that he started +2 melee. Start pathogen glands instead of that.
Another thing that sucked for him, he didn't kill the rocks between his, like, natural and his 4th. So the units kept trickling
Yeah, all
through.
those drones were stuck.
Yeah, the drones were stuck, and the hydras that he kept making from that base kept trickling through the army. So he lost a good amount of supply, just kind of, like, bleeding out. But anyhow, second game of the series will be on Overgrowth. It's kind of funny how that game started off, too. A safe pool build against a very... a very aggressive, like, hey, I'm going to cannon rush you. Oh, you're doing that build? Okay, I'm going to play Nexus. It was a crazy start for a game.
Yeah, and as we can see, Serral is definitely warmed up for this match, cruising at a smooth 400 APM at the start of the game against his opponent who's up 1-0, the Red Protoss in the Southwest, the Finn Welmu.
Finland are certainly known for their calm Protoss players.
Would you say, is this supposed to be sarcasm?
Well, no. I mean, Elfie is known for having 100 APM.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but... Okay. Since you specified Protoss players, I was going to be like, yeah, but there's 2 Finns and they're like on the opposite side. But yeah, there you go.
Anyhow, spawning in the top right as our Blue Zerg, we do have Serral.
I was just considering if I was going to make the joke that most Protoss players are known for having very calm APM.
Can't be joking about Protosses these days, Nathanius.
That's too easy of a joke. Yeah, well, you know...
That weak race with, like, double Protoss in the finals of IEM.
Yeah, that weak race that absolutely shreked everybody. It's like, hey, this map's really broken for Terran. There's no way that Protoss can win. And it's like, actually, no, Protoss.
Oh, let's just watch the best Protosses in the world handle the best Terrans in the world.
Yeah. I'm glad that we're actually our whining is justified, Ben. We have like a solid month of whining we can do after that tournament.
It's nice that it happened as we get to cast. It's like,
yeah,
you see all this imbalance go down, guys.
Yeah, you guys can't even call us biased anymore. The results speak for themselves. Terran's got wrecked at IEM.
I don't think the game's in balance though right now.
No. I don't think so at all. I'm just saying, you know, it's nice to see that the way that the tournaments fluctuate, because Protoss, I feel like it was a little bit since their last big win, right? Because Life took a couple big titles, and then we had him play against Maro, of course, in Taipei. So this was, you know, it kind of switched. It was like we had the Zerg champion against Terran, and then we had well, I guess Zerg champion again against Terran, and now Protoss champion.
Yeah, it's kind of funny to see how it happens too. Like IEM Katowice last year was a PvP final with Hero and then SOS, and then this year 2 totally different Protosses at Katowice again. Like,
except they weren't playing for 100 grand on proxy 2 gates.
No, but 68 grand or whatever it was.
Yeah, that's still a lot of money.
Place,
that's
like,
a lot of cash.
I like how the more money a tournament is, the more cheesy the players get.
Yeah, it's like there's so much stakes on the line, you get more nervous, right?
And we talked about this the other day too. Like, when you decide to win in ladder, that's usually when you whip out your cheesy build.
Yeah, we did. I was like, I really wanted to beat this guy, and it was the first time I proxy racked someone in a long time. I felt bad.
It worked, eh?
I felt bad, actually.
The strategy that you never practice and it worked.
Yeah.
All those cheesy players out there. This is how they feel.
I actually felt really bad about it.
You can't feel bad about cheesing somebody, man. It's his fault for not holding it off.
Thanks.
And how do you hold it off? With your own cheese. So, you know.
Couple of lings going across the map trying to... you could say scout. It's not like there's not much to see. He could run by into the main base, but it's too early in the game for there to be anything worth scouting.
We also have to talk about what openings... Oh, he's actually probably going to get that probe kill by the looks of it.
Mothership core is coming now.
It was a Nexus first against a pool first.
Big Mama's not ready yet.
Agredio... Oh, got it. Wow, nice little pick off here. So,
another probe is in danger.
Oh,
run! No!
He got it! Oh!
Ho, ho.
It's like, I'll let you live.
He's got some fancy dance moves to Muslim, and he's pulling that Mama core back to the natural. Another probe! Boom!
2 probes down thus far. And this is kind of what Serral needs here. He was against the Nexus first with a 15 pool, so Serral again went for that safe build.
Yeah, man.
But going for very early link speed here.
Yeah, Ling speed, of course. I mean, this is a map where we've seen time and time again, and I would proffer more on this map than others. The gateway expand, or expand with a gateway into the 4 gateway push or pressure, whatever you want to call it. Some players, you know, the 4 gateway all in. So having Zergling speed is very nice because you want to be able to at least go for a backstab on the pylon to prevent reinforcements from being warped in, even if you can't kill the army itself.
Certainly. Link speed makes you feel so much safer early game against the Protoss. So Welmu's running across the map will soon see that this third base is going down. With that, just decides to chop on it a little bit. Doesn't really have any other units marching out across the map. So here, what's he really hoping for? I guess just dealing damage to hopefully come up with another push later on and trying to force out units here.
Yeah.
But realistically, can he cancel this building? I don't believe he can. But any damage done, this is probably going to be a fighting ground later on in the game. Oh, the Zealot will get forfeited. A nice surround there. Oh, nice micro by Serral. So saving the Ling there, so it doesn't even lose a Ling killing that Zealot. So, yeah, this is... And these are Lings that he kind of wanted out on the field anyway to look for pylons and such. And as we see on the minimap, there's no probe out. So I like this position for Serral so far.
Yeah, not too shabby as he pokes this wall. This is an interesting looking wall to say the least. Usually the gateway is like one over and you have a space between the pylons, and the Zealot looks all badass in between two pylons.
They usually don't like to put their pylons together like that.
Yeah.
I mean, like...
Ooh, look how many gateways he's adding.
Oh, wow. So this is going to be a +1.
My God.
Ooh. So this guy is going to be a 6-gate.
But he doesn't have a pylon on the map. He needs to move out, and he needs to set it up now because those gateways are going to be done in about 30 seconds. He's still not across the map yet.
These gateways are pretty darn late, actually.
Yeah, I think he's got to be. He's got to be just thinking about taking a third base, but he wants to have a lot of gateways just in case. Like, I don't think this is a fake third because I don't like he's not in any position to push across the map.
Sure.
Without a pylon and with how many speedlings on the map, like there's no way he's gonna get across.
Like there's +1 weapons. Is there? I don't believe there's a Twilight Council on the field.
No, I mean, I still think it's weird, but I don't think he should be able to make anything with this. He's gonna spend a ton of force fields just trying to leave his base.
And he's using those force fields to defend, not to grab those roaches. So yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I think you're right. I don't think this is a fake third at all. Although,
well, I still think this is a position where he's in a lot of trouble. Okay, now the big warp-in's coming off of all those gates, but
I mean, if Serral kind of falls into the trap here and starts attacking, he's going to be in quite a bit of trouble. And what's he going to pick up? Gets a sentry, possibly? Yes, gets a sentry, but ooh, man, this is definitely kind of crazy play by Welmu here.
Oh, Serral's trying to get in. There's the force field to block away those forces. Yeah, Welmu is. This is a bit interesting to say the least, but it seems like he still wants to stick on a lot of gateway units. Of course, this brings up what we were just discussing, Ben. You mentioned there's no Twilight Council, so
what's he going to do with that forge?
Where do we go from here?
Like it...
like
the fact that he wasn't producing any buildings that are going to help him out later on.
Yeah, is this like old school MC? Like I'm actually just going to build a crap ton of gateway units and that's it, and then eventually try to kill you?
I think it's like a macro nexus.
He's not going to build probes. He's just going to use it for extra chrono boost and maybe some of his other probes to saturate it.
I think it's a nexus designed to make your opponent overdrone and then just attack.
Well, Serral's still building units, so...
Well,
I really like that Serral's getting burrow, too, because as cool as this is, it's still really weird, and the Zerglings are immediately going to dive on top of this third base now that the army's moving out. Should be able to pick it off, but let's see what happens now. It cancels the gold. This is a Protoss army that does not have that much micro potential outside of the force field. So if he gets caught out of position, there's no blinking to save him here.
Burrow's almost done, and there's no observer on the map. So it's Burrow going to be roach speed. Oh, getting a lot of these roaches fought though. Oh.
Yeah, Burrow is ready now, so he immediately drops those units underground. But that third base should be more than easy for him to kill since he can force field any number of units away.
And look, his third base, it did die. So, and he only planned on saturating it with like 6 probes anyway.
The drone meat grinder. Yep. Okay, there you go, using that Burrow.
I think Welmu's done it again, the party.
Oh boy.
He's just marching forward.
Yeah, as nice as Burrow is, you know, I don't think Serral can afford to make the number of units he needs to beat this. This is still really annoying though. He can wait for him to cross the bridge of roaches.
These sentries.
If he crosses the bridge of roaches, then he could just surround him once these force fields end. I'm not sure. Yeah, he's gonna move forward. So there's roaches, and he actually has the potential to get a really big surround. And here he does go for it. Most of the roaches can actually hit this Protoss army right now.
Wow, and there's no energy left for a recall here, so totally committing and trying to get out of dodge here, but there's still creep everywhere.
Yeah, there we go, burrowing the drones again, and you know, roaches just regenerate their health so quickly while they're burrowed. This tactic works pretty damn well, and he's got a hatchery that's about to finish on the right side of the map, so he's basically telling Welmu, he's like, get the hell out of here, man. This isn't working until you have an observer.
Ooh, Queen fought on the wrong side of town, but here, sentries are falling. the supply is relatively close, and a Robo on the way for Welmu. Didn't get +1 armor.
Cancels that third base, very important.
Didn't get a Twilight Cancel with this either. So it's going to be
He's
very low tech.
You think he's going to build an Observer and just keep warping in?
I can't imagine him doing anything else. I think he's killed quite a lot right here, and yeah, by this warping on the left side, I can't imagine anything else.
The ultimate +1 attack, all in, man.
Tunneling Claws, +2 on the way for Serral. Man. Well, we kind of joked about how that third base seemed a little mistimed there, but kind of did its job. I mean, Serral was producing a lot of units, but he went up to 65 drones with this.
Yeah, Serral has Zerglings burrowed on all of the bases that Welmu could realistically take at this point, so he knows. He knows that Welmu is totally all in off 2 bases here. But I'm not sure if knowing is going to help him at this point. He needs to find a way to defend against this, and now there's an Observer.
Yeah, I mean, Roaches alone, especially against force fields, don't really cut it. And, ooh, I mean, they are really good force fields by Welmu. Like,
he's getting Roach Burrow move, but it won't be done in time to stop this army from just bashing down the front door.
Real, like, these force fields by Welmu are really what's winning him these games. They're just clean. He cuts out portions of the army. And I like the fact that earlier, when the Roach attack was coming at him, the initial one, he went for like defensive force fields as if he wanted to take the third. It was very smart by him, because if he was going for the all-in, or showed that he was going for the all-in back then, he'd have gone for the, I'm going to catch these Roaches and kill them, whereas then it could have forced his opponent to
you
just
can just deny the Roach Burrow move.
Oh,
ouch.
Man, he got it.
That sucks.
So no more Roaches on the field.
There's nothing. There's nothing he can do. Welmu's just going to take a 2-0 so far for this series.
Welmu's just laying down the smash hammer here, and very aggressive, very precise, clean play by Welmu.
I like the way you put that. Welmu's like basically gearing himself up for this big push. Serral does something really cute, and he kind of throws a wrench in Welmu's plans, but eventually he gets him. He gets that blow on the guy that's trying to just dodge all the punches. Like, no.
Yeah.
He just
like
smacks him straight in the face with the crowbar.
I'd love to hear what Welmu's thoughts were on that build, but you know when he didn't yet take his third Nexus, but those Roaches kind of moved up his ramp, and then he force fielded away. Like, he's like, stay away from me, I don't want to fight you, kind of thing. Like, I think that really gave Serral the idea that, hey, my opponent's going for a third, he doesn't want to fight here. He's like either teching up to something, or he's not in his final form, kind of thing. But say if Welmu actually went for the grab and tried to kill them, Serral could have been like, oh, my opponent's like, I need to build units now because my opponent's trying to kill me. Like, do you know what I mean? The fact that Welmu was kind of selling himself on being weaker than he actually was at that point in time.
I think it also comes down to not having any pylons out on the map, which also makes him say, well, I know there's no pylons on the map. He has a lot of sentries. This seems something much more late-game oriented. I still think that Burrow is a phenomenal choice, and we've seen almost every Zerg, I think, in ZVP these days is getting Burrow pretty damn quickly. I think it's... There was someone who tweeted about it like maybe a week or two ago that was like really happy to see this popping up more. Like it's pretty underused, and Burrow's had some pretty clutch, I think, game saves for some Zergs, or at least attempted comebacks as well in Fragment Masters even for this season.
Well, yeah, we saw Hyun almost do it against Kung Fu Panda.
That was a really weird game.
That was some awesome Burrow usage though. Like even against Blink Stalkers. Like,
and didn't we saw it at least in one of the games, maybe not yesterday, but the last day.
Well, I know Rotterdam's a huge fan of the burrowed Roaches.
Oh yeah, because that kills him when he doesn't get anything other than gateways. Love you, Kev. If you're watching.
Mocking Kevin's play.
He's building a computer right now, so I know he's probably distracted.
I think he just bought the piece, or did he buy the piece?
Yeah,
buy the PC?
He hit me up last night, asked me which pieces to get during this broadcast.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like Nate, need to make the stream dream happen.
Kevin did really well against some Terran players though in NA, right? Like he almost beat Lebo or Xenocider to. He lost 1-2, right?
Yeah.
But he should have won the series.
I've had 1-2 series against Xenocider. You never see my Thor drop against him in the last WCS qualifier?
You took a map off Xenocider?
Yeah, I Thor dropped him. A proxy Thor dropped him. I said, you only Lebo once.
Oh,
as
really?
I landed in his base.
That's really BM, dude.
Yeah.
I'd flame you. Anyhow, third map of this series, Varney Research Station. Now, we've actually talked about Serral's play in specific on this map, where he doesn't take his natural first. Remember?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, Serral's the one that pocketed.
Yeah.
He likes to put this one in the bank. He basically, I keep trying to think of other analogies for this. He he invests that natural into a bond that he reclaims later on when it's more valuable because he's out of minerals everywhere else.
It's really cute, actually, like how he does it. And this map, even though it's only 2-player, it's a really, really long distance away from your opponent's base. Like, really long.
Yeah. It's interesting. Like when this map was first announced, a lot of people pointed out that if you just flip it on its side, it kind of looks like a habitation station with a lot of the way that it's laid out. But it is significantly larger.
Habitation station?
Yeah. Well, this map, like the distance between you and your opponent's base.
Okay. Okay. I'm kind of trying to tilt my head right now and look at it. And I hated the habitation station so much, but I can kind of see it with the like watchtower in the middle and stuff.
Yeah.
And the gold bases.
I do like this map a bit more, though.
I love this map way more than habitation station. Oh, is this... Oh, okay, so Serral is going for that.
Except you can't lift to the gold on this map, which is sad.
Hatch first against Nexus first, and Serral's going for the base, not his natural.
Ooh, I can't wait to see where he puts the next hatchery. I'm really excited, Ben. I want to see it either at the gold or the other one.
Ever since I saw Firecake against Mana, where he went 4 hatch before pool...
You believe in anything now.
I believe in anything, but also, like, nothing quite feels the same, you know? It's like...
It feels it's like our eyes were open to a world that we just didn't realize existed.
Now I see hatch pool, and I'm like, oh man, like this guy. Like, if he went, like, 2 or 3 hatch before pool, I'd be like, 4 hatch before pool's where it's at. Like, I just get giddy when I see it now. Because it seemed to hold, like... What did Mana do? Went 5-gate aggression afterwards, like after his Nexus.
And he absolutely wrecked it.
Yeah, so like, it's absolutely insane that you can get away with that kind of build. But anyhow, we have an early gas, so it's going to be the Speedling opening, most likely for Serral. And we talked about how safe that is, and he did deny any pylon on the map.
Yeah, he did a very good job of that with the Speedlings. I think if you're good enough with this style, that you can keep those pylons off the map, it's worth it to do it as much as Serral seems to be favoring it, because it's really nice not having to worry about those pylons, man. They're so damn annoying. It's the end of many a Zerg's games on ladder when you're like, oh, I'm just gonna jump to 3 bases because I saw this happen in GSL game, and it's like, no, it doesn't happen anymore, man. The 4 gateways are out there. There's lots of them.
Yeah, and with players like San, who came over to Europe to kind of or they just started owning every Zerg in like Stardust as well with these very low econ builds, but very, very high aggression builds. And they just seem to get an army out much faster than any other Protoss.
Yeah. Well, those builds are just so punishing for greedy Zergs. That was like when I wanted to learn a build, man. That was like the first one. Kevin told me, he's like, hey, man, 2 gateways in the front, hide the 4th one in the back. Harstum told me it's the most fun build to do when you just want to kill a Zerg and make them hate their lives.
Harstum.
Yeah. When I was here for the Team Story Cup finals, we were like playing games till like 5 a.m. He's like, "This is the best PvZ build."
Harstum said that?
Yeah.
The 4-gate?
Yeah.
It is definitely one of them.
It's dirty.
Lilbo still lives by it, man.
I can never win ZVP when the other guy does that. But that's also because I'm one of those guys that likes just build 50 drones before I make any units.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm that guy.
So you're like a droner, and then you're a Hellioner.
My TVZ is pretty straightforward, man.
I've been hell-battered by your Terran before with my Zerg. You're like,
you can't
play macro games.
We always have to go.
Rush?
We always have to go back to this. We're gonna have a rematch.
Really?
We should put that before the finals.
You mean after our after the 3-0 of Nathanias?
No, I'm actually practiced now on a good setup. I think I can wreck your Zerg. I can wreck your Zerg, I think.
You think?
Yeah.
I like your confidence. Like, I like the hope. Anyhow, Overlord is going to march into the base here, so will he actually get to scout anything with a Stalk and Sentry popping at him? Gets to see a gateway, oddly placed here, but just one gateway. Forge in the back of the base. Kind of a tricky map to scout everything, I suppose, but Serral, throwing down a Spore, and he actually went for that safe base in the back of his base, so
yeah,
maybe that's a sign of...
I'm disappointed in you.
Well,
maybe he's expecting Welmu to have seen those games.
That, and maybe he was more confident against the Protoss that he played against. Was it Rain that he played against when he did? I think it was Rain, wasn't it?
In his group?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Serral kind of zip-zap-zooped right out of it, no?
I think he finished 3rd. And Rain finished 2nd, I believe. With Marine Lord finishing 1st, maybe? Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds right. I'm going to go with it, even if it's wrong.
Yeah. we've had a lot of games of StarCraft since then, so that'll be my excuse.
Lair, third base for Welmu. +1 starting for Welmu also. The probe count, reasonably high. Drone count, though, is adding on a lot of drones right now, so... Ooh! I like the hallucinated Oracle. I like this quite a bit, actually. This could force a few spore crawlers, and I think there already are at least 1 or 2 spores on the field. In fact, did he...
Oh, he canceled the safety spore.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And upon taking a few shots here, he's going to realize, oh, there is a safety spore over there.
It's like, oh, yeah, you're, yeah, that's not real. I don't need to build any more spores. An infestation pit. We did see Serral play around with swarm hosts on this map, though, versus Protoss. I think, to be totally fair to anybody that plays swarm hosts on this map, and as an argument to those who hate swarm hosts, this map is just so freaking good for them. Like, if you can make it there, why not? If he doesn't go swarm hosts, like, I'd be slightly surprised, but... If he goes for them, I think it just makes too much sense.
Going for +1 ranged is Serral. Getting a few lings out on the field, getting some roaches as well. Roach speed, +1 range. Infestation pit finishing up. What can he realistically do with this infestation pit? Well, on a map like this, and the fact that he's so good at creep spreading,
yeah,
to me it just signals, hey, I'm going to go Locust.
Yeah, swarm hosts. If he had a Hydralisk Den, then I'd be like, maybe something else, but there it is, the Enduring Locust upgrade. It's, you know, the Locust woke up and it looked in the mirror. I was like, man, I only have maybe like another 2.5 weeks before everything changes for me.
Might as well get the most out of me.
Yeah. Abuse it while you can.
But this game, though, Nathanius, it is a Protoss with seemingly better economy, given that he has a few extra probes here. Getting the +2, the blink.
Fast this Warp Prism is. He immediately recognized with that hallucinated Phoenix Scout what he'd have to potentially worry about and does not want to let Serral build a bunch of swarm hosts, get super comfortable, and then just, you know, turn this map into what was basically Firecake's playground. You could just rename this map to that.
One thing I really like about Welmu, though, that we kind of haven't seen from a lot of other Protosses, is the fact that his robotics bay is so early.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, he knows that, hey, he's probably going to deliver a little bit of a punch with like sentries and blink stalkers, but he's going to have that double robo with Colossi production to fall back on eventually. So if he moves out and just denies the 4th, oh, is that a Warp Prism on the right side or is it double?
Yeah, that's I think. Oh, well, it hasn't moved out yet. Okay, now the Warp Prism's moving out.
Well, he's seen the scout. He's seen that there's no hive on the way too, just yet at least.
He starts at 14 drones. I'm wondering when that Warp Prism is going to move in. I guess he's waiting for a better opportunity. I think he's just now adding in the Zealots on the right side. So there we go. Should be going for the Zealot drop soon enough.
Tunneling Claws. That's an odd upgrade to get at this point in time. I mean, cannons are pretty much everywhere.
I don't mind burrow as a general principle, since you know your opponent is likely to try Warp Prism Harass when you're playing Swarm Hosts. But Tunneling Claws, maybe he's considering doing a couple of aggressive plays himself, which we know in the Church of Firecake is a very silly thing to do.
Well, there are drones dying at the 3rd base, and there's units getting into the main, actually.
Yeah, he's actually... So
over the 3rd of Welmu. What's happening?
So as the army moved out, he actually was able to force a recall by getting this run-by going, and actually caught Welmu quite off guard with this. Pretty nice play.
16, 17 probes down there.
And that Warp Prism still hasn't moved in yet, so he's not really done too much damage himself.
Oh, this is annoying. Oh, and that Tunneling Claws is soon done. Oh, there's no cannon in the natural. Wow, this could actually be way more annoying than we thought.
Yeah, now he can actually relocate these roaches and start picking off probes in the natural expansion.
Where's the Observer?
Does he not have one? He's just starting one now? The Warp Prism is kind of dancing around, but still has not yet moved in.
I'm surprised he hasn't moved those over to the natural. Maybe he thinks there's a cannon already at the natural?
Yeah, well, now you can just spread these bad boys out and start picking off.
Wow, there is an Observer there, but...
What if he just sits there and waits? He's like, oh, I think my Stalkers killed those roaches. Like, he doesn't know that there's burrow move yet. That's a high-level play. Well, the roaches on burrow, and they start to kill some probes, but at the same time, he has a big wave of roaches moving towards the left side, or at least those locusts pushing across.
Oh, I love it when Zerg splits up like this. Oh, the Warp Prism's back home. What's he doing back here?
Yeah, he had no business over there, man. Overlord spotted him pretty damn quickly. That's unfortunate.
Now, what is Welmu getting? He's getting a lot of Colossi. But man, this little roach counterattack just bought Serral so much time.
Is there a hive yet for Serral on the map? Does he have the? No, he doesn't have the option yet
No
to go
hive.
for Vipers. I think that's a
Wow.
bit. I think that's a bit weird. He's maxed out now. You might as well, right?
Why would you not get hive in this kind of game? That's the real question.
Yeah, I'm surprised at how late the hive is. Like every moment that he's not building it, I'm just like, what are you gonna do? You can't win the game, right? You can't win the game from this position, I don't think, as Serral. Like, you're in a good defensive position, sure, but eventually you do need something. There's the hive now on the way, with 9, 10 spine crawlers and some mutas. So the mutas are going to be the stay-at-home unit.
I mean, mutas are good at clearing out that warp prism, that pesky warp prism, which you did get to see. In fact, so the roaches are kind of waiting for a counterattack. This creep spread's really good by Serral. Ooh.
Oh no.
Oh,
Does he just know that there's roaches here? Run. Okay. Whew. No. No, he's trapped.
Bam, he got found out, man. Got found out. Now, that's a lot of muta going to be on the way.
And that War Prism is now hitting the third base of Serral at the same time. So Zealot's going to town. And the Mutalisks can't kill him quite that fast. So he will lose a good few roaches. And now with the additional weapons, he's starting to kill a good amount of drones. This is exactly what Welmu wants to do in this position.
Whoa, that's a lot of drones going down, Nathan. That's 21 drones dead, and this army's just... Oh, the locusts! They're finding mushy colossi at the back alone. Wow.
No, run. It's not worth it, man. You need to be at the front.
He just oh man, this locust wave though, it's getting dodgy here.
Yeah, so he force fields him away. He's able to pick off a hatchery. There's no gold base for Serral, so Serral doesn't actually have that crazy of an income. He starts up a ton of lings though.
Wonder what the lings are going to do, unless
the lings honestly are not going to do that much against this army with the colossi still intact.
Where are the swarm hosts? Is he just planning on pressuring with the swarm hosts?
I really don't know. He sends another wave to this base, but that's not going to quite cut it over there.
Whoa.
The thing is, his army is so mobile, especially with this mothership core, he could just go up this ramp, clear out the entire main base, and force field.
Die to spines?
Force field this ramp forever. Like,
and the mutas too. The mutas are playing very, very aggressively on the other side of the map here.
Yeah, he should be able to pick off the hive. These lings trying to crack this natural expansion. Excuse me, this third base wide open. The mutas are in the natural at the same time, and he's just gonna focus down this nexus. He should be able to get it.
Should. But every base of Serral's dying at a phenomenal rate here. The locusts, they're moving in on the natural. In fact, are the swarm hosts right outside the natural here?
Yeah.
Very aggressively placed. So that third, it's not long for this world.
I like your choice of words. It's a very aggressively placed pack of swarm hosts. Pretty much right in your face.
So, Welmu down to one.
So what, does he kill all of this and he's got a recall now, right?
I mean, he's got enough to deal with the mutas, possibly. In fact, does he? Whoa, this is a large amount of muta here.
Serral's willing to contest him, and he's actually pushing him back towards the locust, so he blinks to the low ground, and now he's stuck. Welmu is not done yet. He wants to move that army over towards the left base, but he's got to recall soon. Okay, there we go.
Recalled and he left a few stalkers behind
Yeah,
here.
I think he wants to make sure he grabs this base, as this is the last real mining base of Serral. He does have a hatchery building on the left side, but Welmu, he's got 20 probes versus 30 drones, and the main base is mined out. So both players are basically not mining, except at this point, if he doesn't pick it off, that's actually really, really big for him.
The mutas flying over there. These stalkers are going to die pretty darn soon. Welmu's going to try and focus fire down a few mutas here. Is doing so, but those stalkers did all die.
That's quite big. He can move those drones over there now, and this army cannot break the swarm host yet. You don't need an economy.
He's fighting them, but it's a good blink micro against the locust here, but he still has an observer with this army, surely. And
I think so.
Oh, he's seeing them with the warp prism.
Ooh, there's another wave ready, though. You can push them back, or you can just force them away and go for the gold base.
With 5 colossi on the field, these locusts, they aren't going to do much.
This is really nice. The majority of the drones left, it looks like, or at least a solid chunk of them are at this base. Burrowing won't save you if he has the observer with him. And yeah, it's right out there on the colossi.
Nice. I was struggling to see it there, but enough energy to recall again, too.
That's actually very important to note because he immediately recalls back, so nice.
Ooh!
Going straight into those meters, picking one off.
Wow, what a weird situation. I mean, Welmu doesn't want to be fighting against these swarm hosts, really, as they are free.
Yeah, Welmu's playing a very dangerous game, but Serral can't really build anything.
I mean, he's the one mining. Oh, a Dark Shrine. That's ballsy. I mean, he's got
Serral,
one mineral patch to work with.
Now, Serral also retook his natural, so there's a good chunk of change there left. So what's he going to do, rush straight back up to his Spire? I'm not sure. He's completely been reset as far as tech tree goes.
Oof. This is quite the vulnerable Nexus here. Doesn't go for it though, just goes for the pylons. Oh, will depower those cannons eventually.
Oh, yeah.
Oof.
Nice.
That's quite an investment too of minerals when you think about it. Get 300 right there. 400 including the pylon.
Yeah, pretty big. Gonna get this assimilator, just taking every little bit that he can. Okay, now he picks off a Mutalisk or two.
Gets a few Stalkers too in return though, and he's the one that's mining Nathanius, like, and he's getting a lot more drones. I feel that, well, I think Serral's in a much more comfortable situation here.
Like it's so difficult because the swarm hosts are just gonna keep sending waves and waves after him, so he can't really move around too much, or he's gonna get, potentially locked into somewhere he can't escape from. The Colossi moving out on their own with the Sentry since the Mothership Corp, I think, has enough energy for another recall.
Oh, the probes.
That's most of his workers gone now. Down to 6 probes. Like, at this point, you really should just keep all those Stalkers in that natural. But if the Mutas come for this, he can always retreat. There's the
recall.
first DT. Is there an Overseer on the map? Yes. Where is the Overseer?
This is such a nasty position. Oh, the Blink Stalkers, though, they are going to try and meet up with this army, so they do see the Mutas here.
Yeah, he doesn't want to have to burn that recall just yet, but he's going to have to.
Call.
Gets targeted, so no recall. Forces, a good number of force supposed to be planted upon those Locust waves, and now he can't run back. So the Mutas are like, okay, I'm just going to go to your base, and you have to retreat. You have no choice.
Oh man, this is so nasty for Welmu. I mean, these Mutas, they're not going to get caught by Blink Stalkers anytime soon. If he leaves his base...
I think Serral's pretty much got this in the bag. He's done an incredible amount of damage. He's taken a bunch of gas, and he's back onto Lair Tech at last.
Oh, donates a mushroom.
The only way I see Welmu being able to take this with these DTs that he has is if he were able to somehow have killed that Overseer.
Oh,
but now spores are being started, so that's just not going to happen.
Either Serral saw the Dark Shrine or the Blur,
or he's just like, well, how could I lose this game?
Yeah, one of those. One of those, and chasing down these drones is this DT, but man.
Oh, but that's where, isn't that where the Overseer is? I don't know unless it moved.
What a nasty situation.
Yeah, this is not fun for Welmu in any way, shape, or form. You really don't want this DT to be showing its position. Now coming over here is nice since there's nothing that can actually fight. He could actually clear this out. That Spine's going to finish, but he could stay out of its range on the right side. Maybe.
He did a fair bit of damage. Oh, man.
Yeah, I feel like he didn't do enough.
No, I don't think he did enough either. And I think he knows he didn't do enough. Oh, there's another DT just kind of sat staring at that Overseer.
It's like he can kill his base, but he didn't rebuild the Mothership Core or anything, did he?
No.
So that army is actually just forfeit now.
The army is forfeit, Nathan.
And once the Colossi are dead, that's it. This game's done because he can never push because how many swarm hosts there are. So that should just be it.
Oh, these Mutas.
Serral's Spire is done, by the way, so he can just go right back into Mutalisks basically whenever he wants. The Sentries are actually doing a bit of work, but I mean, the Colossi count is too low now.
3 Colossi down.
Yeah, there's too many swarm hosts on the map for him to ever break him. There we go.
Mutas.
10 more Mutas. That's gonna end this, I think.
Like, it's gonna get to a situation where there's gonna be enough Mutas to deal with this Stalker count.
Yeah, and that's when he just wins.
Yeah, and I think
he's at 2 probes and 90 minerals, so
I think Welmu knows what's happening too. Ugh, but these everlasting Locust waves, he wants to get to those bases, but he can't do it. 12 Mutas on the way now.
He just has an infinitely respawning army, so yeah. In low econ situations, this makes it very tough for the Protoss. I think that last DT got cleaned up too, so...
Rip Welmu, rip.
Rest in Paprika.
Paprika, right?
Yeah.
Are you a fan of paprika?
I'm not honestly sure what it is. I think it's just a spice, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, that was a Colossi that just kind of fell to Swarmhost there.
Desperate times call for desperate measures. Like, just attacking, because, there's really nothing else you can do to win this game. And he's going to push in. He could kill this hatchery, but the problem is Serral doesn't need money to build Locusts, so he's going to continue to just whittle away at Welmu, who has no income.
And now this Mutalisk ball is big enough to take out half the army, and Welmu sees that this Mutalisk count is growing, and I wouldn't be surprised if
GG.
Yeah, GG is called.
Serral takes his first map in this best of 5 on what I would argue for someone that likes to play around with Swarm Hosts, pretty Zerg favored map. It just doesn't look like there's much you can do to break through that with how narrow and long the map is.
Well, I mean, it all went downhill as soon as those roaches got into the main base and started attacking the third at the same
he
time.
picked himself up a very big lead, which bought a lot of time for those Swarm Hosts to get in position.
I mean, yeah, like he bought himself time, 18 probe kills. Like,
Yeah,
just
slow down the income.
Yeah, he slowed down everything of Welmu, and then he had the Mutalist transition, which turned out to be a freaking insane move.
Yeah.
Killed every
That
probe.
worked super well.
Super well. So well played. Now it's a 2-1 series for Welmu.
I love
Next
to see,
map.
like,
Ooh. We saw Serral take the goal base too.
We've seen
Expedition
some
lost,
weird
guys.
stuff on Expedition Lost, but yeah. Thing is, you force this weird base trade scenario against Swarm Hosts, and it's like, the Zerg only need to keep one of their bases alive, and then the Protoss is just kind of like, only one mining base, but it can't get there, just so many locusts, and then the Zerg kills you with the Mutalisks every time you try to leave your base.
I've also felt that where it's like, I want to kill him, but the Mutalists
Like,
are
he's
harassing me.
I know you have no income, but I can't do anything, and then you eventually just kill yourself.
He had a little income rather than like Welmu having 0.
Yeah.
And then his income grew. It's pretty decent actually, like 40 drones on 2 bases.
I mean, he had like a ton of money, but he had to rebuild the spawning pool. He had to get his drone count back up, get the gases together. Then he had to build up the
One lovely
lair.
thing though for Zerg and base trades is like he kept all his overlords alive, so we never had to rebuild that.
That's a really good point.
Oh, so now guys, Expedition Lost, next map, and this I always think this is a Zerg favored map, even though the third's pretty far away and it's kind of difficult to take. Any map with a gold base on it just gives Zerg opportunities
To do weird stuff.
I really like the squint ever since I saw you do it like a minute ago.
That squint I just did, really?
Yeah, the squint.
That's just like my are you really kidding me type squint.
Are you kidding me, squint?
I'm just like, do you really think that that's a thing? Or,
I mean, a squint can mean a lot of things. Like, apparently, are you kidding me? It can mean, oh, I can't see that.
I mean,
thing
I
I'm
don't
looking
have
at.
to read anything in this room aside from what the maps are.
You're a squinter?
I don't need to squint to read the maps, so I don't think it has to do with vision.
Oh, but like in general, are you a squinter to read stuff? Like,
No,
do you think
it's
your
bad for
vision...
your eyes to squint.
How so?
You're like it's something. It's like with when you strain your eyes, by like, you're kind of like squeezing them a little bit into more of a, into less of a circular, like a spherical shape, and more into like elliptical, which is actually quite bad for them.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So you're not trying to like furrow your brows too hard, and stuff like that all the time. Gotta be careful with your eyeballs, man.
Man,
Pretty
I'm
important.
a squinter, dude. I always squint.
It's hard to get extra pairs of those,
So, to start off this game, we have Welmu going for an aggressive pylon. Oh, do you know what? Like, I think this is definitely a good map for cannon rushes. You see this...
Welmu had his cage in, man.
Yeah.
Welmu went like full... Okay, I won't make the Saw reference again, but he was just like, he just caged him. The last Protoss, the Zerg he played on this map.
He made him kill himself like
He locked him in.
Dude, do you like the Saw movies? Or how many have you only seen like one?
No, I've seen most of them.
Really?
I watched them a long time ago. I never found an opportunity in StarCraft to make references to that until Swarm Hosts came in. Swarm Host players have like a way of pulling you into their own world instead of just StarCraft.
You know, in fact, no.
Come on, you gotta have some analogy like that. Come on.
Saw?
You turn every badass flying unit into a Top Gun unit, okay?
Well, I mean, Banshees are kind of like Top Gun pilots.
Yeah.
If they kill like 20 plus.
Yeah, but
and
you've
don't
also
die.
had the Tom Cruise Viking. Come on. We've all
No,
got
it's
our
too slow, man.
we've all got our kinks in that department.
Too slow. Phoenix is more like a Tom Cruise Viking.
Phoenix. That just doesn't make.
Well, I mean, it's not a Viking. That's really slow, dude. Plus, that lands.
I don't know. Maybe it's Roddy that says Tom Cruise Viking. I'm not sure. Oh well.
Tom Cruise Hellions.
No, those are like Keanu Reeves Hellions because they're like the bus in the movie Speed, man. They just never stop. Those Hellions don't drop below 40 miles an hour or else all your drones blow up.
when Hellions turn into Keanu Reeves buses. Keanu Reeves buses.
Well, I guess to be fair, Keanu Reeves wasn't driving that bus. So
it was
it was just like some poor public service guy.
Oh, what's... Damn, what's her name? Sandra Bullock. Sandra Bullock Hellions, dude. That's so dumb, Nathan.
I'm glad we stretched really far for this.
Anyhow, so the Forge Nexus Gateway. So a pretty standard build by Welmu. He did want to go for a cannon rush. Ooh, the pause by Serral. Sorry.
Hopefully everything's all right. Seems like he's needing a quick one.
I wish there was a text-to-speech function with Welmu's voice.
You would write if you had the option, you would have your phone read things out to you in Welmu's voice rather than like Siri's voice.
Oh yeah.
I think that'd be awesome too.
Yeah, dude. Like, and I'd make him. I'd type out like just the word "really" a lot, and just like
Really?
yeah, really,
Really?
really, you're very greedy, greedy Protoss. But yeah, I think that'd be awesome.
Yeah, I can dig it.
Or a Night End voice. I think he's quite the character too.
Yeah, he's got it. He's got a voice.
Sweet voice, voice of an angel.
I don't know, man.
Have you ever heard his voice?
I've heard his voice.
Have you heard him in real life?
Then you compare it to an angel. I'm not sure. Oh, yeah. I don't know if I heard it in real life, but I seen him.
Well, nobody knows what an angel sounds like. He probably sounds exactly like an angel. In my eyes, he is.
Due to lack of evidence, I cannot argue against what you have said.
I think he has a sweet voice.
Yeah. Only so many people can have the voice of an angel, or maybe they just have varying voices like us. Okay.
Did you watch the movie Her?
No.
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 Really? I recommend it. Like he falls in love with a computer, an OS system. Turns out the OS system has the voice of Scarlett Johansson.
Well, then that totally makes sense.
I mean,
I was about to be like, I don't know where you're going with this, but then you mentioned ScarJo, so we're good.
Do you call her Scarlett Joe?
Scarlett. She's ScarJo.
ScarJo? Do you call her Scarlett Johansson?
I mean, yeah, that's her name.
I mean, yeah, if it wasn't Johansson.
I'm American. We pronounce things how we want. So, we're not actually sure what's wrong with Serral's internet/hotkey/sound/ whatever could possibly be wrong. We're waiting for an update.
Small issue. He'll be back soon.
That makes it sound like he'd like answer the door or something. I don't know. His pizza showed up like mid-match. He's like, man, I thought we were gonna start an hour earlier, so he's like scheduled pizza delivery. Can you do that in Europe?
Can you do what? Sorry.
Scheduled pizza delivery in Europe. Can you like go to their website and be like, don't deliver it now, deliver it like in an hour and a half?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. there's a lot of things that surprise me, so I just had to make sure that I just wanted to write that one off as a potential issue.
In Europe, can you schedule food to be delivered at a certain time?
Apparently, you guys don't.
Land,
look, man,
like...
I have a long running history with Europe and things related to pizza. Okay, because I found out like most people in Europe told me they don't know what like square pizza is. You ever eat square pizza?
Why would you make it square when
like
you can have it circular?
Fluffy, like it's like fluffy but taller.
Oh, you mean like deep pan?
Not deep pan. So not like deep dish. Not like really really overly saucy. Like kind of like fluff. Like compare. I don't know.
Wait. This is how you want to prove that America's like further ahead because they make a square pizza?
I was just drawing another conjecture about why things related to pizza are very different between America and Europe.
Okay, explain this pizza.
To be fair, square pizza isn't too much of a thing I've seen outside of the Northeast area.
Well, I've never seen a square pizza, and I lived in America for a couple of years, man.
That's a shame. I wasn't aware that there were people that had never experienced that.
Whenever I spent time in New York, dude, I was like too busy just having people being rude all the time.
Yeah,
I saw one woman, like, this guy walked past her, and she just smashed his coffee out of his hands, like, because he slightly nudged her. It was insane. But, like, he didn't react. He just kind of like, oh, that's the norm, you know? Like, I deserve that. But they'd, like, shout at each other a little bit. It was very weird.
I don't remember it being quite like that, but...
Dude, it was weird, man. It was very weird.
I'd like to just imagine that she had a bad day.
Maybe square pizzas make people angry.
There's no square pizza in New York, man.
Really?
Well, not that I've seen.
Okay.
New York's known for the round pizza. You get the pizza that's big enough that you have to fold it, man.
Oh.
Massive slices, super thin, fold, the best tasting pizza you're ever going to have.
In New York?
New York. Brooklyn. Brooklyn pizza.
You don't like Italian pizza?
I mean, it's all based off Italian food.
Have you been to Italy?
No.
Okay. Italian pizza's good, man. Like, Italians specialize in the, like, very thin
Okay.
and crispy.
Ah, crispy. New York pizza's not crispy.
It's like sludgy.
I
You won't
mean,
use the word
it's-
sludge to describe it?
I don't want to use the word sludge to describe a pizza,
Like,
man.
Sludge.
No.
I'd be angry if I had sludgy
White
pizza.
white
too.
pizza would be no, it's not white. Square pizza would be described as a bit on the airy side.
Airy?
Like if you're comparing like a heavy cake to, we imagine that the heavy, like a cheesecake is like regular pizza. I can't believe we're doing this.
Dude, we're talking
And then,
about
like,
pizza.
But then like square pizza is more like your angel food cake. That's like a lot lighter, you know?
Angel food cake?
Right. It's like lighter, like rises up a bit. That's like, no, no, just still, I'm blown away that there are so many people that have not experienced square pizza. That's like all you can get in a lot of places in the, at least in Pennsylvania, Northeast area, the boonies. I don't know.
I'm just in a smiley mood, dude.
You're always in a smiley mood. So we haven't heard any updates yet about Serral's situation. Nothing crazy had happened in that game yet for us to really dive
Yeah, we don't
into.
even know if he did get a pizza delivered to his door. But
Yeah.
Are you just hungry?
I really want to know. I really want to know.
Your immediate thought was like, oh, did he get pizza delivered? Like,
I don't know. I'm slow. My desire to have pizza is slowly growing since I've gotten to Sweden because I haven't actually had it yet since
oh,
I've
you
gotten
haven't had
back.
pizza?
I haven't had pizza here since I got here.
Man, we'll
Last
get
time I
pizza.
had European pizza was when I was in Sweden last December.
We'll get pizza. It's not that good, though.
No, but you know it's like
It's different, eh?
it's different.
Do you even get pizza in America now, where you live?
No, it's way too unhealthy.
Way too unhealthy?
Yeah. At least European pizza is like so thin that you like know that there's not enough on it for a couple slices to be bad for you.
Do you know one thing that does annoy me about a European pizza, but like specifically here in Sweden?
What?
They don't chop it up for you.
Yeah, that's weird.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah, I have to take a knife to it. And you have to like cut it.
It's like if I get pizza to take away, it's usually because I'm taking it away somewhere like limited time, you know?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you're not going to chop it for me? Like, I'm sure that, like in America, they just go,
Yeah, it's very, very easy.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Cutting pizza is not a difficult thing to do, guys.
Unless
When
you
you
do it
force someone to
yourself.
do it with a butter knife, because it's all you got. It's no, I cut it with a spoon last time.
yeah, you did.
We're really opening up new territories here at the Frat Fight Masters. So hopefully everything's okay with Serral's computer. I don't know what's going
Is it
on.
his computer?
I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I learned something about you today, Nathan. You like pizza.
I don't even eat it
You
that much.
miss
I
pizza.
think I think about it more now that I eat it less.
Mm.
Yeah. It's
Uh,
Oh, okay. So something actually happened over there. So hopefully he's all right and it's resolved reasonably soon. Okay.
You don't want to talk about it?
Do you want to talk about it?
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. Well, basically, something happened. Hopefully, it's resolved soon.
Wasn't pizza.
Was not pizza, unfortunately. Well, there's like things that are different, man. I don't know.
The only... wait, do you like donut shops?
I don't like donuts are like suicide. I haven't had a donut in forever.
Suicide?
Over a year.
Oh, you mean like...
Dietary suicide. I haven't had a donut in a
You
very
need a
long
lot of
time.
chocolate, though.
That's because I'm in Sweden.
It's different.
Yeah, I already went over this with you, man. American food has like everything has instead of sugar, it's all corn syrup.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah,
Do you like the soda better here?
yeah. I don't really drink soda much, so
Apart
I'm,
from
I'm
that
usually
Coke
on like.
Zero.
I mean, yeah. But the thing is, if you're like drinking like sugar-free stuff, then it's all the same, really, no matter where you go, anyway. In case you guys were curious. So let's. I just want to say during all this, if you guys want to, say something to us while we wait for things to get resolved, or give us something to look at between the games. Maybe we'll talk about your tweets or whatever on stream. You can always hit us up at FragBiteM on Twitter. You can use the hashtag FBM, aka FragBiteMasters, and also on Facebook.com/FragBiteCom, where, yeah. So it looks like Serral is ready to go. So if you enjoyed our seminar on pizza, thank you very much. But we're going to go back to StarCraft now.
Oh, like after 10 minutes of pizza talk, you're like, okay, now you can have a look at us or like talk to us at blah, 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 blah.
Oh man, someone actually messaged me about places you can order pizza in Sweden now, so. God damn.
Sorted, Nathan. You get to
It's
have
all
the pizza
sorted.
you've dreamed about for this whole cast.
The dream.
Anyhow, guys, just to refresh your minds, Welmu opened up with a Forge, wanted to do a cannon rush if his opponent was going for a hatch, but Serral did not do that. He went for that very safe pool build that he's been doing pretty much every game, besides Varney Research Station. So Welmu went back home, produced a Nexus, and now we're in this kind of situation. Oh, and a Robo. A Robo that is very difficult to scout, too.
Robo on this map, Ben, let's talk about it, because something that you mentioned that I hate, and reason why I don't like to play this map, the rocks in the back of your base. As bad as they can be for dealing with any type of counterattack in the late game from Zerg, it can be a real pain in the ass for a Zerg to deal with, because the Immortals, if you go for any composition based around them, can just bust those rocks down very quickly and open up a world of hurt for you to deal with, as you have to cover so many different areas where that Protoss player could actually push you from.
Welmu was extremely quick, by the way, to move this Stalker to deny the Scout. So I believe Welmu, upon losing that last game, and yeah, an Immortal quickly, is that Immortal actually getting chrono boosted out? Yes, it is. I believe we could see a very, very quick game from Welmu here, especially... Oh, we did take his 3rd and 4th gas? What's his sentry count at? Didn't see the 4th gas.
Not too many. Not a lot of sentries.
A safety Spore Crawler on the way.
Oh,
so
boy.
Serral still not totally sure what he's up against here. 2 Queens sat at his 3rd, so he doesn't need a Spore Crawler there.
You know, pushes like this, man. He's just powering up.
3 more gateways being added. Link speed halfway done.
Rest
so
of the gases are being taken as he continues to drone up, and it's another
5
gateway.
Wow, this is a lot of gateways. Ooh, if you
And keep in mind,
rocks.
no Twilight. Another gateway. No Twilight. Another. What? He's building 8 gates. Oh my God, the Muslim.
Oh my God. Do you think there's going to be a Warp Prism out after this Immortal?
Yeah, after 2 Immortals, it's usually Warp Prism, right?
We'll see, man. We'll
Boom,
see.
boom, boom. Come on.
That's a lot of gas.
At least when I all in people.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh, he's playing with our hearts. There we go. There's the Warp Prism.
Oh, are those rocks dead? Oh, you didn't get to kill them just yet. Halfway down. I mean, that would have delayed this push by Welmu by quite a bit, actually. But Serral, in fact, he's going for it again. Roach is coming out on the field. Roach speed. But, oh, you've seen the Immortals now. That's kind of given away what Welmu's going for here.
Yeah, he should have a pretty good idea now. Biggest things to keep in mind, the Warp Prism, it's done. But getting pylons locked down, always nice. You can use the Warp Prism to micro your Immortals back and forth around roaches. So you still do want to get pylons, which also brings us back to things like creep spread, where having an observer to clear that allows you to build pylons closer.
I love how he used that pylon in the back of his base, by the way, to reinforce. So it wasn't as if he was using it from the front entrance. Look, he's using it from here. So while it isn't that close to his army, it's still reasonably close. And whoa, he's moving very far onto creep here.
Yeah, it's soft, some roach fuelings, not too much. Mothership Core loses all of his shields, drops the Time Warp, so no recall available.
Wow.
He's really looking to just kill him.
Yeah, Welmu's been very, very feisty here with very early spell usage, but here he's got quite a nice position tucked away on this ramp.
I'd like to see him try to pick up these weak units in front. There we go, trying to move these Zealots around at least a bit. Enters that warp in mode. Drones are being pulled to try to stop this attack. The Immortals, are they both still standing strong? It seems
Still standing strong, yes. Oh, the supply is dropping so fast for Serral. He's lost most of these drones on this 3rd base, and he can't get to where these juicy Immortals are sitting. And the amount of damage that they're piling out, especially with that +1 upgrade, is a lot. Spikecaller finishes, but dies almost immediately here. Getting very close.
Ooh, yeah, Immortal losing a lot of shields. There's that pick up and drop micro. Oh, this is going to be so sick in Legacy of the Void when those things have like bajillion range on picking things up.
Oh man, I mean, the fact that those Immortals are still standing, I'd love to see the kill count. Oh, one Immortal getting low, quite far away from the Warp Prism
18,
too.
it's a badass.
Oh, this Warp Prism looks so wow. Keeps it alive. And this 3rd base now very much so under fire. Sentry's being warped in, Stalker's being warped in, 20 drones have fallen.
He's a 5 health hero. The Roaches tried to get close.
Oh.
No dice.
Man, 3rd base does fall for Serral here.
Yeah, Mothership Core goes down, but with that Warp Prism still intact, he can continue to reinforce
the Immortal!
No!
Does get sniped. That was, he was blocked by his own Stalker there. But I think enough damage has already been done. I think Serral's in a really, really tough spot now. And
Yeah.
by the start of that push, Serral was up to 65 drones, Nathanius. I think that was just a tad too many there.
Now he's on the same economy as the Protoss player, and we know, those Protoss units are generally just better in head-to-head engagements. He's got the Warp Prism. He can continue to move as close as he wants, as long as he doesn't get caught by the Queens.
Oh, wow. That was
Stalker there. He's going back into Immortal production back home.
That was a Roach for a Stalker and 2 force fields. So that was a nice bit of play on the creep there by Serral. With this economy, and the fact that he has an Observer out in the field too for this burrow, this just doesn't look like a very winnable situation for Serral. But, does he see this Warp Prism? Did he see it? I think he might have just seen it, but he will be able to see it with the vision along the top of the map anyhow. But yeah, Tunneling Claws plus 2 attack coming out for him too. A 3rd base on the way for Welmu here.
He does have an Observer with his army though, right? So I don't think that the Tunneling Claws should be too much of an issue outside of just dodging the force fields. He won't be able to use it to like sneak up on him.
Oh, and the fact that he's producing a lot of Immortals here. Ooh, nice little snipe on the 3rd probe there. The Warp Prism, is it dropped at the natural yet? It's just kind of sat here, chilling.
The threat of the Warp Prism is almost as good as having it. He just can move in. Oh, that Queen is still actually quite a juicy target. If those Roaches ever back off, he can just basically pounce on it.
Going for the Roach surround on his own Queen there. So it means those Zealots, if they do try and drop on it, won't be able to get direct hits on there. Multiple cannons going down. Are they going down at the natural here?
I like that he's hindered the economy so much that he recognizes that the biggest weakness is that he can't really afford tech, so just keep building Immortals and be strong against Roaches.
This is super nice, by the way, putting down so many
You're not
going
to crack this even with the burrowed Roaches. Like that is not opening up anytime soon.
No. Ooh. That was a nice little pick-off. Slamming down those rocks. Ooh!
Oh, distracted! What?
He just sniped an Immortal straight away. Ooh!
Oh my god, no!
Oh my... Whoa, is Serral doing this? I think he's doing this, Nathanius.
No, he just killed him because he was killing rocks.
Oh my god, is he doing... I think he's doing this. He's killing the whole army here. There's only 1 Immortal left to deal damage, and Serral, even if he doesn't win this fight here and now, in fact, even if he doesn't win the war, he definitely won that battle. Man, holy crap. Did you see? He came and just like prodded that Immortal and one fell, then the next one fell. This Warp Prism wasn't there to save the Immortals? Man.
I don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say.
He had... Wow. He lost 2 Immortals before he even fired a single volley at his opponent.
Yeah. And like those juicy sentries were on the front row too.
Oh my god. I can't believe that happened.
I don't think Welmu can either.
The fact that Welmu didn't immediately lose the game just shows how far ahead he was. But now...
Yeah.
Now it's like, okay, we've got a bit of a game. Keep in mind there were still no drones in that 3rd for the longest time, so that's still a manageable position, but this could have been so much easier for Welmu.
Wow, that drone
tried to burrow. The Roach is the fastest burrowing unit in the game, to Muslim.
The Roach?
Yep, nothing. The Roach burrows close to instantly, like a Widow Mine, whereas drones, Zerglings, and most other units take the same amount of time as a Widow Mine, about 2-3 seconds.
I wish Widow Mines burrowed faster than anything.
Yeah, I wish Widow Mines actually just could fire while standing and were cloaked at all times.
I wish the upgrade actually made it so you didn't have to burrow them. They were like the new Swarm hosts are going to be, like you just kind of like press a button.
What if you could fire Widow Mines at 26 range from siege tanks?
Whoa, you're like that guy on the Blizzard forums that comes up with all the balance.
I think that'd be sick. I once had a suggestion that Immortals could load probes to fire anti-air.
Immortals?
Yeah, you cost you a probe, but the Immortal could shoot air units at 50 damage. How sick would that be?
For 50? You've just decided to...
Yeah, like a catapult. Like catapult the probe. Maybe it's 40 because probe health. I don't know. Anyway.
And Welmu is moving in for the kill on Serral. But Serral getting out quite a few Hydras here. That will definitely help. But if he gets this position... Ooh, there's no... These force fields were so late by Welmu, but... These Immortals incredibly hard to get to.
A lot of the Hydralisks unable to fire because they do not have the range upgrade. So this really opens things up for Welmu. As even if he doesn't fight the army, he should still be able to kill this 3rd base. He has enough energy for another wave of force fields. I don't believe there's a Mothership core with this army, so if he gets overwhelmed, he can't really retreat.
And a nice burrow micro going under the force fields there was Serral. Ooh.
Oh, those Roaches.
Some decent harass too, getting 10 probes in the process, but losing 10 sentries himself.
He's running out of force fields here. He needs to be very careful. And he also needs to make sure that by the end of this fight, he has killed that hatchery.
I think he's going to get it. These are mortals, man. They're dealing so much damage to this very heavy roach composition. Gets the third base and looks like he's going to... Oh, in fact, I was about to say, it looks like he's going to back off here, but he's just going to stick around. Realizes he dealt a lot of damage, but I guess in his head he's lost quite a few probes here. Maybe he thinks backing up and just playing safe from this point on. Ooh. Man, Serral's making this burrow... these burrowed roaches deal a lot of damage, and without a cannon in the main, these could be very annoying. Ugh.
Yeah, I like it. With that that +2, they two-shot the probes, so it's actually very, very effective harass.
Yeah, they're dealing a lot of damage, and with a single Stalker, they have the potential to clear out this whole mineral line here. And with no Observer. Oh,
yeah,
did you see that too? Again. He switched up the roaches, put the higher health one in front of taking damage. That was really smart. And look, those two roaches, 13 probe kills, Nathan.
Wow, that's cost-effective to Muslim.
It's super cost-effective, and the fact that they killed like a good 14 probes earlier at the third as well, man.
Oh, he goes straight for infestors when this infestation pit finishes. I was wondering if he was going to just press the eject button, the emergency swarm host button to buy time, but he's going for infestors because he knows that this is an army that works best clumped up. You know, it is a mini death ball, and mini death balls, they clump.
Look at Serral's new base that he's trying to make too. I mean,
far away from this land.
That's rather ballsy.
Yeah.
Oh, there is like a little assassin squad of roaches, I believe, at the third base of Welmu.
Assassin squad? You mean 2 roaches? That's how dangerous these things are.
I mean, man, these roaches have been put to work, though, and with that cannon position there, if he chooses to burrow now, wow, can't hit them.
Oh my god.
6 probes down.
Oh!
6 probes down, and you force the whole army back?
Health regen, good unit.
Man,
The infestors, even though he didn't have pathogen glands, we talked about how this was an issue on the earlier map, but...
This guy is literally Rambo.
He's going ham. Oh my god. Double kill.
Okay, 2 Stalkers is enough to kill a burrowed roach, if you're wondering. Just. Man. So Welmu comes over, and he kills what he thinks is Serral's potential third base. But we see on the minimap, no, not at all. Oh, quick burrow there too by Serral. Now Serral kind of has to worry about transferring drones, because if Welmu gets to see that, but how does Welmu engage this? This is a lot of fungals.
Yeah, I feel like this is almost a situation where you take that base count lead you have, or that you think you have, and try to go to Colossi on this, because this is just a death trap.
Look how... Oh man, this is such a stocky army. I mean, you don't want to engage it.
It's just that without Blink, you're relying only on force fields, and the fungal will still kill all your sentries, so...
Now,
like that's usually how these armies win. Like all the sentries die and they just overwhelm you because your shields get eaten up by the fungal too on the immortals.
Now he's getting pathogen glands, and he does have a lot of gas to be fair. So that infestor count could become much higher. And
yeah, this is I think this is a natural repercussion of being on such few bases. The gas is mined longer than the minerals for the most part, so the only way he can balance his excess gas income is by putting it in infestors, which is I think very smart.
Twilight Council. Ooh, just try and sneak past, but there is a cannon there. 6 more infestors coming out, so he timed that. As soon as your pathogen glands is 40 seconds along, I believe. Does it take 80 seconds?
Something like that.
80 seconds, yeah. So infestors also take 40 seconds to build, so usually like to time that out with the infestor. Oh, 50 seconds.
50 seconds. Wow, Muslim. Wow.
Wow, I'm so dumb.
Wow.
Got that wrong, Nathanius. By the way, one nice thing for Serral here, that third base that he has at the bottom right side of the map, he only droned that up with that hatchery.
Damn, that hatchery put in work.
And why would Welmu ever go down to the bottom right side of the map? Well, you wouldn't.
Yeah, that's well said. He has no reason to go over there, so...
What's this hit squad that Welmu has on the left side of the map, by the way?
He's going into Storm. It's a lot of zealots. He had like that one creep tumor, though, by the tower, so I think he saw some of this. Is he sending some units up over here?
Slow zealots look so funny. Is he using this? Okay, I thought he was using this as a
distraction. The thing is, he could if he's able to surround the hatch, then it's like maybe he has a chance of focusing it down, because even fungals won't stop him.
Fungals won't stop him?
Nice!
Wow. That was the slowest zealot run by I've ever seen, but gets the hatch. And in Welmu's eyes, denying him of this base, his only mining base. Welmu's getting ahead because of this. But, as we see on the minimap, trading 10 Zealots for a base when you also have another mining base, in this situation...
Yeah, I hope Serral, like, you know, you think about how players manage bases like this hidden one, and this is one of those times where it's like, don't put it on your hotkey with your other bases, because if you accidentally send a unit from there, that's the only way Welmu's ever going to find out about it.
Man, we joked about the position of that base kind of being far, far away, but man, that's paying off.
That
fully
base,
saturated now.
You know, if he didn't take this base, I think this game's over. And now, here we go.
All those infestors too. How many does he have on the field? Like 12? That's an insane amount of fungals. No Colossi in the field still. Oh man. Oh, High Templars though. Battle of the mana units.
Yeah, he's got Storm. He needs to watch out for getting fungled, of course, and also quite.
Where
Oh,
he knows
that the army's in the middle. You know, without a lot of Storm hosts, can he? Oh boy. The infestors are going to go home, but the Roach Hydra will kill off the gold base. And he's also got some roaches tucked behind the back of that third mineral line again, it looks like.
Oh, what a nuisance. I almost think it would have been worth building an extra cannon in that mineral line just to defend against this sort of stuff.
Yeah, he's really been forcing that opportunity throughout all of this game. And what does Welmu do in this position?
Now, did Welmu think that those drones running around were kind of misgrouped there? Does he even have Storm on these High Templar?
Yes, he does have Storm.
Okay, that's good. These probes having a picnic on top of the roaches. It's like, hey, we're having fun doing nothing.
There's totally nothing underneath us. Next Tremors film.
Hive. Hive.
I mean, there were some Vipers on the map too, so.
These Zealots coming out, dealing work. Oh.
Oh. I mean, Loki's kill things really fast, but can they save this base?
Yes.
Yeah.
With the the assistance of all those drones. Oh, Welmu finds it.
This is you know, if he clicks on that one of those mineral patches, he's like, ah, it all makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, this base it's been mining efficiently for like a third of each one of those mineral patches, so that's a lot of minerals. It's a good like 4,000 minerals mined right there that he's seen, and wow, that definitely makes him feel like sniping that base that he thought was the third at the top feel a lot less justified for the cost at least.
These infestors are all full energy, so while Feedback's going to one-shot them, if he gets caught, those Templar get fungled, the sentries, this game falls apart very quickly for Welmu. In this army, you're burning energy that takes a long time to regenerate against units that spawn free every 25 seconds.
Getting in this position's nice though, because now, look, so force fielding is bad off. Swarm host can't work here. He snipes this base. This was a nice position. Also, Harass going off in the bottom right base here by the looks of that blinking, and yes.
Yeah, he's just going to contain him.
He's denied the mining entirely of his opponent.
Yeah, there's actually no income anymore for Serral.
Ooh.
He's throwing some beach balls across. You know, he has actually enough sentries to force field this forever.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. I think they worked it out that a single ramp needs like 6 sentries to force field it off forever.
It's 4, I think.
Is it 4?
4 sentries can hold 1 ramp forever, if you time them perfectly. Yeah. I used to think it was 3, and then someone was like, well, Nathanius, you're wrong, because then you won't have 4 more seconds. So,
I thought it was 5 or 6, but to force field off a ramp like that, let's say you double it, so between 8 and 12, by our theory.
Yeah.
Don't know what it is exactly.
You have to take up the delay, right? So, anyways, finally going to get these roaches out of his backyard, which have been troubling him for quite some time. And the thing is, the infestors are the slow units now that he's cleared up a lot of the creeps. So these Hydras must be very careful, as they will not win a fight against the Templar alone. He's taken the other gold base.
I mean, one kind of nasty thing is here that the Locusts can get vision, and then if the infestors get behind the mineral line, which they can very easily here.
Oh yeah, he could just fungal those probes from below, can't he?
Fungal. I wouldn't be surprised if we kind of see that happen here.
Yeah, he just needs to get, all he really needs to do is get the vision with the Locusts. So he's going to try to abuse the positioning. Ooh. You know, Templar and those bad boys off creep move at the same speed, so
Welmu's being awfully ballsy here.
Yeah, he's just going to run straight in, and he can force field that single ramp. And by the way, low ground, boom, boom, chitty, chitty, bang, bang.
Didn't even use energy to do it, Nathan. Oof.
Oh, he's getting ready to storm the ramp. Of course, things are going to clump up pretty hard trying to move in that position, but killing the Hive, definitely going to be a fun place to be. No Vipers. Wow, he doesn't actually finish it off. Oh, he left an Immortal behind. Click on it. No. Okay.
So what was his reasoning?
What's
for
on the
going
right
for that?
side? Is this just like all the drones from earlier? Or is it all his overlords? Like on the right side of the map, it's a giant. Okay.
Oh, is the Immortal going back there? Oh,
Yeah.
I was about to say, what's the point of going up here if you're not going to actually kill it?
15 kills.
By this game, they've both lost a pretty darn similar amount of resources. So this game's ridiculous. I haven't seen a PvZ like this ever, I don't think. Oh, Welmu. Welmu getting into position here, denying mining and getting it again.
Economy again and again and again and again. Oh, no. Fungal the Templar. Another
Sick
one.
fungal.
Oh, from downtown.
Oh, and these locusts, man, these are dealing a lot of damage here with the addition of fungal. But all these drones do fall.
But Welmu has what he needs now to start building Colossi, right? So
Yeah.
this is where he starts to build an army that can actually win the game.
Certainly. And that's what's working against Serral here. I mean, his army, it's cool if you grabbed it and dealt a lot of damage to it, but Welmu really never gave him the opportunity. Good force fields, always storming those locusts. And now with
there's only
Colossi,
one drone on the map, lol.
where is he? And he can't build a hatch, even if he wanted to. In fact, there is a hatchery at the top left.
Yeah. He's still got the natural.
Oh, he's
there's
building another
not
one.
much there to use.
He's building another hatch when he's only got this amount of minerals to work with. So that, oh,
He's brave.
11 drones, Nathan.
Yeah. He built 10 more and a hatch with the last couple bucks.
Could this be the fight to end all fights?
He's got force fields. The Locust should never get close enough to actually kill this off. He's just relying on the fungals.
The fungals are actually dealing quite a bit of damage, but not enough. Not enough.
These aren't ye old fungals of ancient that can kill entire armies on their own, rumor says.
Rumor? I felt it, man. You can look it up on YouTube. The Muslim versus Violet.
Many a poor bastard felt that pain.
I'm so glad we don't live in those times.
The infestors were like, try to channel your old chi. No, it's not happening. That was not a bad fungal.
That felt like a bait. Like that felt like a bait by Welmu. Oh, but this is a nice amount of Stalker Dance here.
Yeah.
Oof.
Like he was maxed, so this opens up supply for more Colossi, but yeah.
That is true. That is true.
If you think about it, the Stalkers, unless they just try to blink past the wave of Locusts to actually snipe infestors, there's not too much they're going to do, because these Hydras will wreck them head to head, or at least they should.
You killed my one gold base. I'll take the other, says Welmu.
He's actually just been bouncing between these, and he's so grossly oversaturated. Like, sometimes it's like, well, do you really need to have 18? It's like, well, you can have a few less and be optimal efficiency, but if you have more than 18, you're actually not mining any extra.
Yeah, you should just go long distance mine.
Send them somewhere else. Send them on a journey.
But yeah, I'd long distance mine from the base at 6 o'clock, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be far more efficient.
What if these Stalkers find all those Overlords? Does he have Overlord speed? He just congregated them all here. No.
Does Nay have it?
Like, if he runs up here, he could he supply block him into oblivion. Oh, he found the Overlords.
Oh my god, the supply box is coming.
Please, no.
Migration has started.
He's more like, I want to actually beat this army and win the game. But
Ooh.
that would have been cool if he just killed all his Overlords.
Serral's still microing his heart out, by the way. Using Burrow to avoid damage. These Locusts found the next target.
Using the storms of the Colossi. He's far enough ahead that he can afford to do that. But now Vipers are coming out once again.
This game's crazy, Nathanius. Now Serral's income's been cut down again, making lots more drones here. We'll be up to 20 pretty soon. Getting Vipers, by the way, that will be, be able to deal with these Colossi. And realistically, if he kills the Colossi...
You know what's the really funny thing to me is, while killing the Colossi definitely gives him a chance. Ooh, nice fungal on these Stalkers. While killing the Colossi certainly give him a chance, he actually doesn't have that many buildings to consume from to get energy for these things.
No, he doesn't. Losing... Oh, ran out of energy here, by the way.
Oh, no.
Oh.
That was more than ideal.
Does take out the gold base of Welmu. How many minerals does Welmu have left in that left base of his? I don't believe it's... Okay, so he takes that base now.
Yeah, he's just going to keep climbing where the creep is not. That Nexus actually still stands, barely somehow, at the gold base.
Infestors moving out now, trying to... They're going to be used as hit squads by the look of it.
Observer sees this next base are on the right side.
Ooh, what's happening in the middle? Is this against Locust? Oh, Hydras! Wow, those Hydras are ballsy, man.
Why won't you just die?
Ooh, that's a blinks. Force fields,
Yeah,
cut them
force
off.
field that off. He's like, I know where your base is, baby girl. Ooh!
Well, that Mothership core kind of like, no.
Yeah, the Templar move a little slow to deflect those ducks. And ooh, almost killing a full energy Templar there for free. That would have sucked.
Well, Welmu gets to deny another base and gets to kill a lot of drones with it. But he also gets to see that his opponent does have Vipers on the field, so we can't be as careless with his Colossal, because he just got caught out totally there. I'm surprised that he doesn't have a Dark Shrine on the field at this point in time.
Yeah.
I feel that kind of stuff could really help. Oh, the Infestors actually came out.
Just crazy how much that bottom right base, giving him the money he needed to build those swarm hosts, allows him to drag this game out when it really doesn't look like Welmu should. It doesn't look like this game is. It shouldn't be losable. Yeah, there we go. GG. Welmu finally.